Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America on YouTube. And Jack Smith, the prosecutor in former President Donald Trump's D.C. case, he just got what he wanted, but does he really want it? Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps our channel out, guys, and it really helps with the growth. You know how things are right now. Everybody's trying to suppress the conservative message. We really need your assistance. So what I want you guys to know is Jack Smith says he wants the Supreme Court to step in and decide on presidential immunity. Now, this is really, really interesting because normally this is not how it would happen. Normally, you'd go through the Court of Appeals, then you'd go through another appeal, and then maybe you get it to the Supreme Court, and then they'd have to look at it, and this could take months. It could take up to a year. Smith, he wants the court date for March 24th, and the only way for him to get it is to leapfrog the appeals courts, go straight to the Supreme Court, and then take it there. However, it's a massive gamble because if the Supreme Court says no, Trump is immune, not only is Smith's case dead, but the Georgia case is probably dead. So it probably kills two cases. This is a massive gamble on the hands of Jack Smith. Here is what CNN had to say about it.
Here of a concerted effort to obstruct justice.
It's fascinating reporting. Not totally sure exactly what it means going forward, but it's just a great example of our team's work. What is, I think, very out front right now is what the special counsel did yesterday in terms of going straight to the Supreme Court to challenge former President Trump's immunity claims. Errol, what did you take from this, the decision to go straight to the Supreme Court here?
Well, first of all, it's something that they're entitled to do. It's not super rare to sort of go and ask for
Can you
Supreme
explain
Court
that? Why?
Well, I mean, look, normally there's an appeals process. You go through different levels, and then the Supreme Court decides whether or not to take a case, and that can take months or even a year or two. But what we saw in the case that comes to mind, I think that probably most viewers might remember, is back in 2000, when there was a real question on the table about whether or not votes were being counted properly in Florida. The Supreme Court took up the case immediately, and they resolved it because we needed to have a new leader of the country. You can ask for that. In this case, it's not quite as dramatic and it's not quite as urgent. But what Jack Smith is saying is that, look, if we've got an election that's about to start, if what is at the end of all of this is that the president cannot be prosecuted for any reason, for anything that he did while he was in office, which is basically what the case that his lawyers were making. Tell me now. Let's not waste everyone's time with this if at the end of it there's going to be some kind of crazy immunity. Now, he's doing this knowing that what Trump's lawyers have asked for is absurd. It's hard to imagine that they're going to get everything that they want, but it's best to have it litigated now.
Leah, explain what Trump's lawyers are asking here for, because the fate of two cases, the election interference case and the Georgia election interference probe, hang in the balance. If this court decides, even a 5-4, narrow majority decision, when you're a president, you're immune from things like this. Those two go out the window.
Absolutely. They're gone. And this is why this is such a crucial moment. And in fact, in some respects, I know the Trump folks are irate over the special counsel's decision to push the Supreme Court and decide that make this decision right now. But this is also something that Trump people should care about, because the Supreme Court is going to lay it out. They're going to either say, no, actually, you don't have immunity based on things that you did in office, or you do. And so we have to decide. I think the other thing to keep in mind here is that we have to decide it because we have an election that is rapidly approaching. And part of the Trump team's strategy has been to stretch out this kind of political process and this legal process in order to get to the point of being reelected president of the United States, by which then there are all kinds of kind of legal calamities or rules and regulations, including one in which he can pardon himself, right, or preemptively take it off the table. Again, I think it's important to think about what this decision might actually entail as well. Because what happens if the president of the next president of the United States is told, no, actually, you do have immunity over anything that you did while in office? That changes the entire landscape of how somebody governs and what they are able to do and what the American public allows them to do.
Ellie, to Leah's point, Trump's team being irate, it's a day that ends in Y, so I'm not...
Again, I think this is really dangerous territory, for him. And if they rule against Trump, dangerous territory for future presidents. I want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments. Also, please, again, remember to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. I'm Carmine Sabia for Explain America on YouTube. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.